the book of Proverbs chapter 13. I want to read verses 17, 20, and 22. Proverbs 13 verse 17. A wicked messenger falls into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. A wicked messenger falls into mischief, into trouble, into ruin, but a faithful ambassador is health. Verse 20 says, he that walks with the wise becomes wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Verse 22, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. May the Lord bless his word and prosper it as we hear today and always, in Jesus' mighty name. I am looking at enforcing your unheard of restorations by God's wisdom. We've looked at this in parts 1 and 2 previously. If you have not watched those videos, please do get them and watch them. Today I want to focus very briefly on a very significant aspect of God's wisdom that most of us have not looked at critically. Before I say what I have to say, I want us to hear again as I read from the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. This is God speaking. He says, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. What does God mean here? Who are the wise he's talking about here? Every single person that plays down on God's wisdom. Everyone who thinks that God's wisdom is not as important as any other kind of wisdom mankind is pursuing today. God says, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. That means every means of solving a problem that mankind may have adopted, I will destroy it. Listen, we have problems today all over the world, and most of these problems, all of these problems came as a result of man's sin. The fall of man opened the door for problems to come to man, opened the door for man to enter into problems. The doorway to problems is simply sin. Now, people who are sinners, even those who are saved, it is sad to say, are still trying to adopt the ways of fallen mankind to solve their problems that came to be forced because of sin. There is no amount of learning that a sinner can learn to solve his or her problems that sins cost. I say it again. No matter the schools you will go to, no matter the kind of courses you will study in this life, for as long as you are trying to deal with the problem that came to man as a result of man's sins, you can never study any of those disciplines or courses to solve your problems. That is why every single person that plays down on God's wisdom is toying with his or her destiny, because there is no counsel against the Lord that can ever stand. What do I mean? To see God's wisdom or way out of problems and try to push it aside and pursue man's way of trying to solve the same problem is a waste of time. And that is what most of us are doing as Christians today. It is sad. I pray as you hear this word, you will check yourself and ask yourself some vital questions. Have I been trying to solve my problems by neglecting God's wisdom and accepting the ways of man? After all, what is wisdom but God's ways of solving problems or ways of dealing with issues? There are different kinds of wisdom. There's what we call natural wisdom. That is what we learn when we are born into this world. Whether you went to school or not, you learn wisdom that is called natural wisdom from your parents. A child is not told how to ease himself as he grows. If a child is pressed and he wants to ease himself, he doesn't open his mouth to ease himself. He knows what to do. If a child is hungry and he wants to eat food, and the father or mother provides him or her a food to eat, the child does not carry the food and send it to his eyes. Even a child that is breastfeeding, they know how to channel every food to their mouth. That is natural wisdom. As we grow, we go to school, we learn some courses. Maybe some people start learning A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And from learning those letters, they begin to learn how to form words. 2-letter words, 3-letter words, 4-letter words, as they are able, based on their curriculum pattern. People keep learning. We grow older, we go to school, some polytechnics, some universities, and then some go ahead to do masters and PhD. You see, as you keep learning, you keep adjusting. What do we study in schools? Ways of trying to deal with issues that people are confronted with daily. So you see, if you are sick, there are people that we call pharmacists who manufacture drugs, and there are people we call doctors who prescribe the drugs they feel or they think you may take for you to be free from the challenge you have. But God is saying here, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. That means whatever you can put together as a human being that you want to depend on to solve your problems, God says it won't work. I will destroy it. For as long as your challenge is the result of sin, and you are trying to neglect God's way out of sin, and then you are struggling to deal with the problem that sin brought upon man, you are wasting your time. If you want to deal with the issue of problems, any problem, as a matter of fact, you must get back to the basics. Find out what caused the problem in the first place. Deal with the cause of the problem or the taproot of the problem, then you can deal with the problem. But you see, we want to step over the cause of the problem and we want to deal with the solution. It can work. God says, for as long as you are trying to do that, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. Anything you try to do to navigate your way around the cause of your problem, which I don't want, which I don't like, then you are doing that to solve that problem. God says it won't work. I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. You see, the earlier we come to the point of knowing that God is the only wise God and his wisdom is the only supreme wisdom we need to solve every problem, the better for us. I read again. It is written, this is God speaking, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. We have people who are educated men that do researches. They spend quality time and resources to research or make findings on how best we can solve our problems. Some are medical professors, some are economic professors, some are political professors, government, every kind of field of endeavor. People have studied and made researches. There are philosophers who have been able to come up with what they think are workable things we can engage to deal with our problems. God says, no matter how much of effort they put in to make their findings, I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Take note, this is not a human being talking about God. If God says so, please let's fear him. Because if we try to navigate around what God has said to accepting what men have said in order to solve our problems, we are wasting our time. God says, I want to remind us again, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer? Those who argue. They present their studies and their findings and their research conclusions and say, this is what these people must do if they want to be free from this problem. Where are they? God says, where is the disputer? Where is the wise who have made findings and have given us postulations? Where are they? Where is the scribe? Scribe talks about those who are great authors who have propounded theories and assembled these theories in a book form, and then we have their books. Books that you can't do without if you are studying any field of endeavor, any field of study. It says, where are they? Where is the scribe? Where are the authors with their great books? Where are they? Where is the dispute of this world? Where are the philosophers? Where are they? He says, had God not made foolish the wisdom of this world? This is conclusive. God has packed all the wisdom of this world and dumped them into one single vessel or tray. And he says he has made them of no effect. He has made foolish the wisdom of this world. For after that in the wisdom of God the world by wisdom knew not God, it pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. That means no matter what your problem in life may be, if you can listen to a God-sent man teach or preach the word God has given to him or her, God has given to him, listen, you'll be saved. There is no problem of man that God has not provided solutions to, no matter what. Anything you have, there's a problem. There is a solution God has provided and provided to deal with that problem. He says, for after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God, it pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. What is it that the preachers must preach that will bring about the salvation of the people that believe? Verse 22 tells us, for the Jews require a sign. A sign is the manifestation of the power of God in results. When you see a sign anywhere is the result of God's power at work. For the Jews require a sign. That means the Jews want to see the power of God in manifestation before they can believe. And the Greeks seek after wisdom. What is here? What is it I'm talking about here? Greeks seek after solutions. They don't know much about God, but they are looking for solutions. They are looking for ways to solve their problems. They have economic problems. They have problem of sickness and disease. They have problem of no job for their teeming youths who are growing up everywhere. They are looking for solutions. What are the things we can do to solve this problem? There's a menace of COVID, for instance, now. What can we do? Unbelievers who are scientists, they are researching every day to solve the problem of COVID. Now listen to this. Even if they succeed in solving the problem of COVID before they are done, because these problems are engineered by the devil from hell. Before they are done with this COVID, there will be another outbreak. Even if they deal with COVID, have they dealt with cancer? Have they dealt with every form of asthmatic condition people have? Have they dealt with diabetes? No. You are dealing with asthma. You are dealing with, for instance, COVID-19. More sicknesses are evolving almost every other day. What can man do to stop sickness? The simple answer is go back to God. Let him show you the way out of the problem that gave birth to sickness. If you can deal with that, you can deal with sickness. For as long as that is not dealt with, you want to, well, circumvent the real challenge. You want to go around it. You just want to pick what you want to still live in sin and then be free from sickness. You are wasting your time. God said, I will bring all your wisdom to zero. I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. I will bring the understanding of the prudent. I will bring it to naught. Listen, I read again. The Jews require a sign, God's power in manifestation. The Greeks seek after wisdom, ways to solve their problems. But we preach Christ crucified. This is a simple solution. We preach Christ crucified. How come he that knew no sin was made sin for us? How come he that knew no lack, he that was rich was made poor for us? What was the reason that made him that was blessed of God, who knew no cause, to become a cause for us by going to the tree to hang there? Listen, we preach Christ crucified. Unto the Jews a stumbling block. They don't want to hear. They only want to see the power of God solve their problems. Why they live in sin? It doesn't work, my brother. It doesn't work, my sister. But we preach Christ crucified, unto the Jews a stumbling block, and unto the Greeks foolishness, but unto them which believe, which are called both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. Verse 25, because the foolishness of God is wiser than men, and the weakness of God is stronger than men. Listen, you are not ready for solutions if you are not willing to hear Christ preached. You are not ready to see the signs you are trusting God for, the miracles, the wonders, the breakthroughs you need in any area of life if you are not willing to hear what we have come to tell you about Christ. Hear me well. I have only one message to preach, and that is Heaven Now. What is Heaven Now all about? Freedom from every problem of life that came upon man after the fall of man. You must recall that in the beginning, God said, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness. And God did, for God made man in his image and after his likeness. God created them, male and female, and God blessed them. God empowered them for fruitfulness. He said to them, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, fill it, subdue the earth, and have dominion over everything. God made man in his image and likeness. But sin came and robbed man of that. You see, after God made man, God planted man in Eden, a place where there was not one single thorn or thistle. Eden was a place where there was not one weed. There was nothing that was evil in Eden. Only choice trees that God planted, having all manner of food for man to enjoy. There was no evil thing in Eden, no weed, no thorn, no thistle. There was no rain, yet Adam had every water he needed forever. Every food he needed, they were there forever. There was no pressure of any kind. Man lived and enjoyed heaven on earth. And that has been the plan of God. For man to be restored to the exact image and likeness of God. And for man to live a life free from evils. And that is all I'm talking about. How can this life be possible? It's very simple. By the preaching of Christ. Christ was crucified on the cross. He that knew no sin was made sin, so that he can take away our sins and then restore to us the blessings of God that empowers us to live the life we have been given to live here on earth. Please listen to me as I wrap it up. It is not the will of man to struggle, yet people are struggling, even though they don't want to struggle. Now hear this. It is not the will of God for any man to struggle. But notwithstanding, many are struggling. Many have died poor, sick. People have died as prisoners. Enslaved. People have died jobless. People have died barren. Are these evil and negative vices the will of God for man? No. Why are people experiencing them? Because people have chosen to ignore God's wisdom in pursuit of man's wisdom. Look at how much we spend to train our children or to go to school to pay school fees. There are people that are paying money in millions today to train their children. If you are sick, for instance, and you have a doctor in India or in UK or in Australia or in America, what do? You pay your way from here to that place. You go there to hear a man. A man tells you from what he has read, from books written by most people who have dead minds, and you believe them. That is the reason why we are dying. If you can settle down and hear somebody like me that God has sent to bring solutions to the world concerning sickness and disease, concerning whatever problem people have today, you can be free. Please hear me. You can be free. You don't need to go anywhere to be free. You can just sit down and listen to the word God has put into my mouth, and then you can be free. He says, a faithful ambassador is health. The New King James Version puts it this way. A faithful ambassador brings health. The New International Version says a faithful ambassador brings healing. Now, the simple truth is that what you have, you bring to people. What God has given to you, he has given to you to make available to others. The Lord called me and sent me as his ambassador. Was my work to bring healing from Christ to the sick everywhere? Was my work to heal a zillion? How? Show them what I have done for you and given to you for them to have. And if those who believe you and receive you what you're saying, they will have what I've given to you for them. He gave me this assignment and I began to prepare. As I say, 1995, while I was preparing, I had to acquire 68 different kinds of Bibles. 68 as at 1995. I've been studying. I have over 170 books on healing alone. Every aspect of man's problem that God has revealed to me to deal with, I have books acquired to study what people who are specialists in those specific areas have written. Presently, I have over 3,400 books. I've been studying. I am not talking to you as a novice. Since 1991 till today, the 6th of May, 2010, I don't know sickness. I have lived my life healthy, married, not spending money on drugs in my family and for my family. Listen, I am not here to tell you what I have thought of or what I've read or what I've heard. I am telling you what I've experienced. You can be free from sickness and disease by engaging God's wisdom. You can be free from lack and want by engaging God's wisdom. You can be free from every challenge that people are going through today by the engagement of God's wisdom. As we examine God's wisdom for your unheard of restorations this month, I want to trust God that every challenge you are going through will come to an end as you hear and believe in the name of Jesus Christ. Don't forget, God says, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. I will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. It will be an error for you to be working with something God is destroying. It will be an error for you to be dependent on what God is working to destroy. God says, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise. That means every solution that people are trying to bring that is not based or built on God's word or God's wisdom, God says, I will destroy it. If you are struggling to seek as a solution man's wisdom for any challenge, you are wasting your time, because while you are trying to do that, God is busy working to destroy whatever people calls wisdom that is not God's wisdom. In Isaiah 55 from verse 8, God says, as the heavens are above the earth, so are my thoughts above man's thoughts, and my ways higher than man's ways. God says so. If his ways are higher than our ways, then we must seek his ways. We must accept his ways, and we must operate his ways. He says, for as the rain comes down from heaven and the snow, and does not return back to heaven, but must come to the earth to water the earth, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so also his word that goes forth at his mouth, he says, it cannot return back unto him void, but what he has spoken must be done. What he has sent on an errand, talking about his word, must fulfill or prosper in that very thing God has sent it to accomplish. That means if God has spoken, this is my way for your healing, forget it. Forget every other option. Take that and you'll be free. If God said this is my way for you to be free from lack and want, forget every other option. Take that way and you shall be free from lack and want. If God said this is my way for you to be blessed, stop struggling to be blessed. Accept God's ways because it works. Please hear me. Your maker, your creator, the one who made heaven and earth, has given us his wisdom. And that wisdom is all I am here to show you. My prayer is that from today, you will stop struggling to secure man's wisdom to deal with any issue that you are going through, but to secure God's wisdom. As I wrap it up, hear me. If you want to be free from sickness, please go back to the word. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. My son, listen to my words. Give attention to my sayings. Don't let my words depart from your eyes. Keep my words in the midst of your heart. For my words are life to those that find it, and health to all their flesh. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of your heart comes forth the issues of your life. The Lord told me, your heart is like a soil. You take the seed of the word and plant into the soil of your heart. You keep it in your heart. Water it in your heart. Weed out unbelief, worry, anxiety, fear, and all those vices that choke the word and make it unproductive. Weed them out. Keep the word there. And without any prayer from any man of God, you will be free from sickness. Hear me well. It is God's will for you to live every day of your life in vibrant health. My prayer is that for you, from this day forward, you will get back to the word. Pick the word. Think on it. Brood over it. Feed on it. Keep it in your heart. Keep watering it there. Keep speaking it. And I tell you, in no time at all, you shall be free from sickness and live healthy all of your days from today. God bless my prayer. I'll see you in the next video.